It's Lily.
Hello, it's Mikey.
And we are here to bring and wing.
Bring and ving?
Yeah.
Bring it and wing it.
Yes. And we are excited for Christmas, but at the same time, I will be glad when Christmas is over.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes you become an adult and, the holidays don't have as much magic. There's more stress.
Yeah. Well,
But
and you get
it is still lots of fun. I love watching the kiddos get all excited about Christmas, and my wife is super, super she has all the traditions and all the activities, and she's a good mom.
Yes. No, you have a wonderful wife, and I'm glad for you that she takes care of all that so that you can just kind of ride the ride.
I can just sit back in the back seat and be like, sweet, you're making me look real good.
Anyway, we hope you guys end up having Merry Christmas and all that, just in case we don't have another episode before Christmas, because it is the season of a lot of stuff.
'Tis the season of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Okay, so today's topic, I'm so excited to tell you about. Not only that, I want to put something on our calendar.
Oh.
I want to make an agenda.
An agenda.
Or I have an agenda.
I was like, okay, you want to make an agenda.
I have an agenda and I want to make it so.
Okay, I'm listening.
So today we're going to talk about L.A.R.P. Do you know what L.A.R.P is? I think you do.
L.A.R.P?
Yes.
Nothing comes to mind.
Okay, L.A.R.P is abbreviations.
I figured it was.
Yeah, it's for live action.
My mind initially thought of harp, which was like a...
the instrument?
No.
Oh.
It was a government program for housing. Yeah, way off.
Is that the one you got your house through?
No.
Oh, okay. You had to build it.
I don't know why I thought of it. It was a piece
okay.
of legislation from years ago. Anyway.
It happens. So L.A.R.P stands for live action role play.
Ooh.
So, okay, I, played D&D. I used to play Vampire the Masquerade. I played Cyberpunk. I played so many of them. I played Faye. Man.
You had all the freakish, weird friends that were into that stuff.
We'd all sit on the table rolling our dice, acting all cool. It was great.
We're chilling at a Denny's, only drinking coffee for hours and hours late at night.
It was a place where we could hang out without parents getting mad.
I just feel bad for the waitresses and waiters because I'm sure the tips weren't that big.
They were usually all part of our friend group, and we weren't their favorite if we stayed too long sometimes. It depended on how broke we all were.
Oh, okay.
But lots of times, if we felt bad, we'd buy some crispy fries with ranch because that way we were actually buying some food.
Oh, I'm sure that increased the tip amount immensely.
Oh, geez. Back in the day.
So is this similar to like cosplaying?
Okay, so I actually have LARPed before.
Okay.
So in a comic book shop that was local, they used to throw a vampire LARP some nights. And you'd go and be in character, and people would just carry dice on them and do dice rolls, but you would walk around and you'd interact.
Wow.
It was Vampire the Masquerade.
Okay.
And
that would be kind of fun.
When I started going, Dad was afraid that I was going to get sacrificed.
Yeah,
so I had to deal with that because it was.
We're lucky you made it out alive, Lily.
We were just a bunch of geeks pretending to be vampires.
I know.
Well, it was just like everybody thought.
I think at that point, though, because you were like goths too, you were probably the closest thing to real vampires, aside from someone that was actually willing to bite someone and see if they could suck their blood.
I know for a fact there were people who did like to bite people and cut or whatever, drink their blood. I personally was not into that thing.
Yeah, I'm glad you weren't.
Yeah. I mean,
that would bring you to a whole new level of freak.
No. I'm already freaky enough.
I know, but I'm saying it would bring you to a whole new level of freak. I'm just saying.
But anyway, nobody was cutting each other at the LARP. Okay?
Oh, good.
It wasn't like that. We were all just role playing. It was just like, okay, just like they thought that D&D was a satanic game when it first came out. Everybody thought it was because of the symbols on it. They thought it was all satanic.
Yeah, man, okay? That Hellfire Club is of the devil.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it was basically
demons.
It was It was like playing D&D, except we were vampires and we were walking around and we were in costume and character.
No, so I played that a little bit. I was a Bruja vampire.
Gotcha.
So I was kind of a more like crazy, strong, but super tempered punk.
I was a Macavian. The crazy vampires, of course.
Of course.
Why wouldn't I be a Macavian?
We're nerds, if you haven't already guessed.
Yeah, it's written all over.
And we're proud of it.
I definitely read plenty of comic books in my day. Thank you very much. But anyway, LARPing.
LARPing.
I want to talk about it because our generation has totally gone nuts and made all kinds of fun things. Okay? And actually some of them before. Some of these have been around since the 70s.
Okay.
Like 74. Okay? But, you know, I actually know somebody whose mom literally used to make little role-playing games with her friends on paper, and they were, you know, that was during, like, straight up 60s, 70s.
They made some RPGs?
They made their own little RPGs, yeah.
Sweet.
So, you know.
Custom.
So, okay, the great thing now, though, is, and I've actually wanted to do these before, and I always forget about it, and then later I get reminded again, and I'm like, I have to do that. But, okay, so everybody knows kind of, I mean, who's at least stateside in the USA, that people do the Gettysburg reenactments.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
everybody's kind of heard about that, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Where they go and they act out battles, actual battles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's so much more than even that, which I also think would be fun. I wouldn't mind going and doing like a battle for Gettysburg.
That'd be cool. So I have a friend who, she lives in like Virginia or something, and they have these, I see pictures on Facebook, and they have these big open fields, and they get their like Camelot on.
Yeah.
And like they've got the king and the court people, and they're all dressed in costume, and they set up these tents.
Yeah.
And they do like sword fighting. It's like they're literally rewinding time to the medieval days and living in that time for this like apparently LARP, you know, like a live action.
What LARP basically is it's like adult pretend, where we all get to dress up and pretend to be.
It's fully immersive.
Fully immersive. And it's really, really fun stuff. And the closest thing that we've seen around where we are is the Mountain Man Rendezvous.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're all dressed up in part. And like we were invited to go back and hang out with them, but we had to dress in character or we couldn't hang out after people who go through to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Like after hours, it's all like straight up mountain men.
Yeah, you gotta put on your beaver hats and your moccasins and the leather stuff.
Your leather dress.
Yeah, have a tomahawk on your belt.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay. So I want to tell you, though, there's ones I want to go to so bad. Like in Germany, they have some really cool ones. And the biggest LARP in the world is in Germany. And it's
Of course it's in Germany. The Germans love the LARPing.
It's called Mythida.
Mythida?
Yeah. And I just want to give you, like, I'm going to show you something on my phone. It's a 2-minute video, but you don't have to watch all 2 minutes. I just want to give you
I don't want to bore our listeners.
That's why you're just going to visualize it for a moment. And you're going to be like, wow, yeah.
I'm just going to get a taste, a sample.
And I'll attach one to show you guys so you can get a taste yourself, because I would like to let you
We can all be tasting.
Yeah, you got to know what it's like. I mean, you shouldn't be robbed.
Okay, I will try and narrate what I'm seeing so that there's not awkward silence for everyone.
And so like you go to these different ones, and this one's more like medieval style.
Okay.
Okay. But people add like mythical creatures in them. There's another one.
Can I show up dressed as a unicorn?
Yeah, actually, you probably could. But I don't know if you want to know what people will do to you.
Yeah, they might try and slay me, you know?
Yeah, and there's another one that's the second biggest one, and it's also there, and it's called Drachenfust. How do you say it? Drachenfust?
Drachenfust?
Yeah, something.
Drachenfust?
Something. Anyway, they even have a clan of orcs, and these people are hardcore. I have to show you what they look like really fast.
Whoa.
Well, you have to actually put in an application to be an orc.
Can't you show up, eh?
No, you can show up.
You have to be qualified.
You could be a tree person or an elf. I think it's because they want to make sure your costume looks legit enough because
Yeah, they don't want any wannabes. It's got to be like bona fide.
You need to show that you can be cool enough. You know what I mean?
Immersive enough.
Yeah, like hello.
Orcish enough.
Okay, so here is an example. This is for
This is for that first one you were telling me about?
Yeah.
I can't even remember what it was
for
called.
The Methodia.
Methodia?
Methodia, whatever it is.
We saw them coming.
Okay.
Warriors rushed from the ships.
Ooh. It looks like Vikings.
Yeah, that one's more got like that going on.
Yeah, dude. They got the wood shields with the freaking axes, face paint.
Huh.
And then some random dude with a turban on his head. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And they even got their, like, witch doctor looking people.
Uh-huh. So,
hey. They got real metal swords, the whole nine, man.
Okay, let me pass it back. And
I feel like I'm watching a Viking movie.
Yeah, they'll have, like, blacksmiths and stuff there. And you can go ahead and, like, have people...
have people smell to a sword.
Have people smell it for you. You can watch them make your sword.
I want to watch them bang on the metal.
So this is a long one. I'm just going to give you an idea of what these orcs look like.
Okay.
That's at Drakenfest. And that one has like tree people and elves.
Okay, so it literally looks like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, right?
And
There's even dwarfs. And this guy had his beard like totally braided. Like,
dang, man. Yeah, literally, it looks like the orcs in frickin' Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. And they have green ones and black ones, I noticed mostly in there.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man.
Don't
they
you
are
be
definitely
so much
intense.
fun to
Like,
go?
full leathers, metal armor, sword, shit, the whole, everything. It's frickin' Sauron's army.
So guess what they do there? Okay, at Drakenfest, they actually
They kill each other.
you pick
Man flesh. We want man flesh.
You pick who you're gonna be, right?
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. That was funny. But you go ahead with them. You go ahead and pick which group you want to, be a part of.
Okay.
And they all compete for dragon eggs, and whoever gets the most dragon eggs at the end wins. And they set up.
So their
tents.
currency is dragon eggs.
Yeah, they set up tents. And you rent a tent.
So now it's like basically like Game of Thrones meets Lord of the Rings Sauron army.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Sounds delightful. I want to go.
Yeah, and I'm like, people.
Dress me up as an orc.
So they actually said participation was free for children under the age of 6 before. But they actually decided that anyone under 11 is free. So we can bring your boys.
Can I dress up like I'm 11?
You can.
You think I could pull it off?
No.
Oh, come on. Okay, well.
You would be the tallest 11-year-old I've ever seen.
It's a rare condition, okay?
He's got the giant gene.
And my hair's starting to thin a little bit on top. I promise, I'm 11.
It's still growing in.
Yeah. It's developing. We're so lame. Okay.
So anyway, basically you pick which one you're going to be a group of, and you get a tent, right? And it pays for your tent. And you go and you eat there and you live there for like 6 days.
Dude.
You just live the war. You live the...
Can you
People are
imagine
making meat.
after day 4 or 5, if they're not bathing, how stinky they would be?
Yeah, well, and it's a PvP for Drakenfest. So like one of the girls who was talking about it said she decided to walk herself back to her tent at night to go to bed, and she got jumped by a group of people on her way back. Had to have a battle.
Oh.
A little fight with some hostiles.
Okay, I was started to sound like it was something inappropriate for a second there.
No.
I'm like, that doesn't sound like a good thing.
No. Well, and they even have like, if you looked like further into this orc fight, they had hostages with them that they walked into battle with that they'd caught from the last battle.
Ooh.
So you can get taken hostage.
Dang.
Yeah.
Do you get beat up? You get the whip?
It's all fake. I mean, yeah, people are hitting each other with weapons.
I feel like to be totally immersive and have the right effect, there has to be some bruises and maybe some small cuts.
Okay, so this is the thing that's awesome about LARP is you can find a little bit of everything depending on what you want. There's even ones where they don't really role play. You just go and you dress up in armor and you beat the living crap out of each other and you get points. And women and men compete against each other in that.
Wow.
And it's like they have a rule system on how they grade you, just like boxing. And you can just show up and be like, yeah, I'm doing this. I mean, you probably have to sign a lot of paper waivers and stuff. But I mean, they're not going to be using a
We
sharp.
will not be responsible if your eye is gouged out.
It's dull weapons. They're using dull weapons on each other.
That can be even worse. It's called blunt force trauma, Lily.
And some of them have like Nerf-looking weapons too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it is?
So I actually had a friend in high school that they literally made like foam weapons, and they would meet at the park and they would have battles. And like, you know, if you got cut in the arm, you'd have to put your arm down, you would be able to use it.
Yeah, I remember.
And then if they struck like your leg, you're hopping on a leg. But if they get you in like the torso or the head, I mean, obviously you're dead. That even rhymed.
Okay, so yeah, so come look over my shoulder really fast. Just
Okay, I gotta come over to Lily's side.
Yeah, come on over. Okay, I want to show you this place.
Come on over,
see this?
baby.
See this place?
Oh, it's like a big castle village.
It's a village. Okay, so this is something else.
All you're making me do is really want to go to Europe really bad.
But this
It's
is
so
this
beautiful.
is in California.
What?
Go sit down. I'm gonna get you more excited here.
Ooh,
So this one is.
I want to plan a trip. Let's go.
That was what my agenda was.
Oh,
So you guys,
this is the agenda.
I want to take Michael to one of these, and it's a fantasy one.
You're paying, right? I got 5 kids.
We'll talk about.
Okay, all right.
Talk about it later.
Okay.
But anyway, the one that I just showed him is in California, and it's called Bushline.
Yeah, it literally looks like a European village.
Yeah, so you actually rent rooms and stuff in there for it. Or you
Sick.
can end up in a tent, you know, but you actually can be
I don't.
in a.
I don't want to be in a tent.
I know you don't, but
I like luxuries.
see, and I thought this was a good mix, and it's only in California, so it's not over in Germany, which is cheaper.
Yeah, and I can just take pictures and tell people it's Germany because they would totally believe it. It was all foresty and it literally looked. It looked like was a little village in Germany.
So in this one, they actually have people who are even like half wolf, like wolf people. So you know, people who
Like
are,
werewolves,
yeah, like people who are wolf people and people who are
like Teen Wolf.
fantasy. Like it's completely fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah, like there was a girl I knew who or watched a thing on who went with like little wolf paws and wolf ears.
What if
and
I
she
showed
was
up as a Pokemon? Would that be welcomed?
I'm sure they would
Show up
let
as
you.
a Pikachu?
Yeah, I'm sure they'd embrace your Pikachu. But don't you think it'd be more fun to, you know, maybe show up as an elf or
Yeah. No,
a
you're
dwarf
You're right.
or something, you know?
I want to be a dwarf.
I know. We should be dwarves.
I think it's interesting how they're always portrayed as like Scottish. You ever notice that? They're like, hey, I'm a dwarf. I'm going to knock you down on your face.
I know, it's true. And everybody's kind of adopted that. Just like elves are always sounds like British people.
Yeah.
Why can't they sound like Australians? I mean, it's kind of like British, except for it's more interesting.
More interesting to you, mate.
They'd be like, hey, this Sheila right here.
Dude.
She's got her elf ears.
It doesn't
He's
fit.
like, hey, Sheila, come here.
Because Aussies are more hardcore and like, you know, raw, and elves are
Okay, well, why
sophisticated and very old.
They should make barbarians sound like Aussies then. How about that? I think I should decide this.
Okay. It's your LARP. You make the rules.
There we go. We just need to make a LARP in our backyard. We can charge people money.
Yeah, just don't tell my coworkers about it. I might get made fun of.
Oh, I was
You do what?
I was talking about charging people money and making a convention in my backyard.
Oh.
Yeah, like setting up tents and being like, come pay us, and you could play like your gnome gardeners.
Gnome
and they
gardeners.
can run the garden. It'll be perfect.
Wow. I don't think anyone is that dumb, Lily, to fall for that.
No, don't tell me you wouldn't be interested in going and being a gnome gardener for a week.
How could I be a gnome? I'm 6 foot tall.
Because you can imagine. And you can put on a special nose and ears and feel great about yourself.
Okay. All right.
And, you know.
Hey, in this world, you can identify as anything you want. I can just say identify as a 3.5 foot gnome.
See, we could even go to this thing in California and show up as gnomes and just say we're giant gnomes.
But I feel like
we were cursed by
I feel like we
giants.
dress up as gnomes and then they look at us and they wouldn't get it. Like they wouldn't know we were gnomes. We'd have to tell them.
We'd have to look very garden gnomey for them to understand that we're gnomes. That might be okay. Well, we could talk about that later too.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I want to go to that one. It's in California, and it's a fantasy-based.
So
one, and it's
is
for
it
about
like
6
only
days.
open during the summer? Or is it
Most of these-
annual thing, or how often do they do it?
Most of these things they just happen during the summer months, but there are other ones that happen other months. Like, guess what? You know how I love horror?
Yeah.
There are horror LARPs.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Oh my gosh,
You
there's
probably got all kinds of Michaels and Jasons walking
there's
around
a
everywhere.
horror LARP in Poland.
In Poland?
Yeah, where you're going.
The Polish people are big into the
Oh yeah,
horror?
Guess what?
What?
No, the Polish people are big into LARPs. They also have a wizard school. So if you wanted to kind of experience wizard school,
You're a wizard, Harry.
but they can't be associated with that anymore.
Is
They
it
have
bad
to be
that I'm
careful.
secretly hoping Hagrid shows up to my house and tells me I'm going to Hogwarts?
They had a dragon there that was like animatronic. It looked pretty cool.
Wow.
I mean, it was a young dragon, but it
was
is wizard.
It was a wee little dragon. It wasn't a full grown one. Just a baby.
Yeah, but he was moving like a dragon.
Maybe a preteen.
He was injured.
Hey, you got my attention. I love dragons.
Yeah.
You're talking to the guy who currently plays World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly.
And who's played Dungeons and Dragons many times. And
yeah. So
I like it. I'm all about fantasy, and I even love like just cosplay in general. Like,
yeah, me too.
A good friend of mine, he goes to like a Comic-Con every year.
Mm-hmm.
And I love seeing like the elaborate costume. And people spend hundreds and sometimes thousands
and
of
they
dollars
build things.
on these
Oh yeah.
things. And you look at them and you're like, dang, man, I really don't want to know how much you paid for that, but that looks cool.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually think that if it like gets around more, that these cosplayers are going to go nuts with it because, dude, this is like full immersion. You get to go and make a character and be that character and be in that time and in that place for a week. You get to step out of reality and it's like you're really in a video game.
Yeah.
You know, and I could be in Silent Hill if I want. I can go there. I mean, kind of.
Lily, I don't want to go to Silent Hill.
I know. That's why I'm asking.
I don't want to go there. Take me to Fantasyland, okay?
Okay, guess what else I was super excited about?
What?
That you can do in Germany. Oh, but I found out. For the people who are in the U.S. who are not, feeling have to buy tickets to go to Germany and deal with all that, although Germany, who wouldn't want to go, they have a version of Drachenfest in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
They also have, which it looks like Pennsylvania just copies whatever they can't.
Honestly, the person I was talking about, I think it's from Virginia. It's called Pensick.
Yeah, but they actually have.
And I think they do.
Drachenfest.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is I think they do it in Pennsylvania as well.
Okay, that they've got their own.
That
version.
they go and they do their little, kingdom things with courts and kings and all that stuff.
So I know that in the Black Hills, when I lived there and when I was like 18, there was a group of people who would meet every year and do it, but we missed our chance. Like
Black Hills, where's that?
South Dakota.
Oh, South Dakota.
Yeah, up there by the President Heads and the the Mount Rushmore or whatever it is.
Yeah, I've never been to that neck of the woods.
Yeah, so
I think the furthest northeast I've been is like probably I passed through Indiana for a second there on my way to Michigan.
Really?
I went to Detroit, Michigan for a summer.
Gaia. See, and I've been all the way up to Quebec.
Quebec?
I
want to go to Canada.
I know, I went there. So look, there's a lot of them that are in Canada, and there's a really big fantasy one that's like quite popular in Canada, and they have a duplicate.
There are
of that
so many
around here,
places
too.
we need to go and things we need to
I know,
experience.
we need to go
Lily.
to Canada.
Canada.
I haven't been to. I haven't been to the French Quarter of Canada in a long time.
Well, I did go to the French Quarter in Louisiana, in New Orleans. Got me some beignets.
Okay, are you ready to hear something super exciting?
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is cool. I think it's fun to see people get so into something and so passionate, and then have such a large collaboration, and to have them go all out. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and like if you're having a hard time finding them, look up, because some people just have LARP groups where they live, and that's like at someone's house or something, and it might be cool.
It's
but
basically
it might
like a D&D
yeah.
club.
It's like the locals make their own LARP, okay? But if you want to do like something that's more, hardcore,
Big scale.
yeah, or whatever, like then you can just look up LARP conventions or famous or well liked or large LARP conventions, and you'll start getting so many options. It is crazy. And there's a girl named Momo and her group of friends that YouTube, and they YouTube their LARPing experiences. So check them out.
Her name is Momo.
Yeah. I'm just giving them a shout out because I found out about a lot of this stuff from them, because I didn't know that they had made. I knew they were doing like medieval LARPs and fantasy LARPs. I did not know that they were doing. Are you ready?
Okay.
There are pirate LARPs.
Pirate yarp. Ooh.
You actually get to go on a real boat. It's in Germany, like a big pirate boat. Like I'm talking like if you were in Pirates of the Caribbean. And you get to go and be on there.
I've heard of people doing like dive trips off of like pirate style wood boats.
Okay, you actually get to go hang out for 6 days on a boat and be a pirate. And they actually teach you for the first day like how things work on the boat or whatever. And
so you actually get to be the crew?
Yes, and there's other groups that go at the same time, so you can have fights with each other.
Can I skip? Can I skip the swab the deck part?
I want to skip that part. That's for NPCs, right?
NPCs.
But you get to make a character and you're a pirate, and they actually have pirate battles.
That's so cool.
And you go on the actual water. I so want to go there. And I found out they have a version of that as well in Pennsylvania.
Hey. Pirate convention.
Yep. So
You are a pirate. You're hard tibbity bee.
Being a pirate. Mm-hmm. Do what you want because a pirate's free. Okay, so there also is now, believe it or not, you can do actually sanctioned by White Wolf vampire conventions.
Sanctioned by who?
White Wolf, the people who wrote the vampire books.
Oh, the Vampire Masquerade things?
There's either the Masquerade or there's the other one. What's it? The Vampire, the Reckoning or something?
I remember there was another one.
Yeah,
I only ever did Masquerade.
They have the different stories behind them. But they have...
So they basically have different lore.
Yeah, I like the backstory of the time period, and it's just a little different. So it's in a castle in Poland.
Oh.
Yeah. And they
I want to go to Europe so bad.
If you do that one, you can go, and it still has those like characters, like, you got your Maccabians and your Toreadors and all that, whatever.
I can't remember them all. I just remember I was a Bruja.
There you go.
I was a crazy punk.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, you go to these and you're hanging out in a castle and everybody's being their different vampires. And I guess they have an area upstairs where if you want to have a fake bloodbath, they will
Don't worry, it's not real blood.
They will hose you down with fake blood.
It's just corn syrup starch stuff.
So, as freaky as you want to get.
Makes me think of a scene in like Blade. You remember the opening scene where they're at a club and this one poor sucker that's not a vampire gets lured in by a woman to this club.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all dancing and stuff. And he's like, yeah, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden their fangs start coming out. And then like
they're down on him.
Well, no, like the water suppressant systems they normally have.
That's right.
They have blood start raining down from the ceiling.
You mean the fire?
Yeah, like the fire suppressant thingies. But like blood starts spraying everywhere, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, I remember Blade. That's right. So yeah, I guess a lot of the LARPers don't really talk about the vampire LARPs much because it's a little more sensual because people are feeding on each other's necks, and it has a tendency to be a little more sensual.
Oh.
But the girl that I watched...
It's like Fight Club. First rule about Fight Club, don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, kind of like, you know...
What happens at the vampire convention stays...
Probably.
There.
But she said there's rooms where that stuff's happening, and you can just walk right past those rooms and just pretend like they're not there.
That would creep me out, man.
And that was...
I don't know if I could handle that, Lily.
Well, don't go to that one then.
I could handle like the orc brood before I'd handle...
I don't think I want to go do the vampire thing. I did that when I was younger. I want to go and be a warrior.
Yes.
I want to be a warrior. I don't want to play mind games. And
I want a full suit of armor and a really cool axe or sword.
I want to be in a fantasy, fight and whatnot in a fantasy world. Like, so much. It would be so much fun.
Yeah.
I want to be there and just live it for a week.
Can I pretend I'm a wizard and then shoot fireworks at people and pretend it's magic missile?
Do it. And people just will react. Everybody just, it's like, what's it called? Like that show on TV where it was like, whose line is it anyways or whatever, where they all just kind of would say stuff and go off of each other.
Yeah.
It's like that. You can just randomly start something.
It's called role-playing.
Yeah. But it's freelance. It's freelance.
Freestyle.
Yeah. Freestyling.
Improv. Improv.
Okay, so I found out that there is a kind of LARP for anyone. So if any of you are thinking, I'm not interested in anything you're talking about, they even have goat LARP. They have a goat LARP.
What?
Your goat, you have a goat that you're put in charge of, and that goat is your character, and you are role-playing the goats. So if you want, you can do that. And one of the people there showed up as a
Hey, okay.
Yeah. So
goats.
Yeah.
I guess whatever you're passionate about, man, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, and then, there's even there was I can't remember what her name is now. In New Orleans, they have...
You mean New Orleans?
Series, yeah. There was that series about that Frankenstein-type lady or something. Anyway, there's all kinds of stuff. You have so many options, it's nuts. And I just think that everybody should try it. Because who wants to always... talk about taking a vacation from your life. You're going to be completely someone else with people who are completely someone else. And there are things that aren't possible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the ultimate jump into imagination.
Yeah, and I think it probably would be good for, some immersive experience that takes you out of your life and your problems. Could be really fun. Hey, you want to, let's say, liven up your love life. Take your wife and pretend that you guys aren't married and that you're love interests. And in the pursuit of either or of each other.
So re-spark. You can rekindle the fire.
Re-sparkify it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
But there's all these different things that you could, it's it makes it easy too for people who don't have as big of imaginations. So if you're someone out there who's you can't just randomly think of something easy on your own. If you go in a place where you're being immersed and all you have to do is figure out what you want your character to be like, it just makes it easy. Because then you go in there and everybody's playing and you'll just play.
I just want to know how much money they're putting into their orc costumes because they're pretty extravagant. I can't imagine that they're very cheap.
Well, that's why you can get really smart about where you buy costumes. And if you go and you watch, I can't remember the group that Momo's part of, because there's a few of them, and there's the redhead's the one who went to the vampire one.
The vampire one?
Yeah, and she's asexual, so it was kind of an interesting experience for her. She avoided certain rooms like the plague.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is that, there's a Penny Dreadful. That's the one I was thinking, in New Orleans.
Yeah.
You can go and be in the Penny Dreadful world for a week.
Did they have a show about
Yes,
that?
that's what it was. It was a show.
I think I
It was
might
like
have
a
watched
dark European
like a
show. Yeah.
I think I might have watched 1 or 2 episodes, but not continued.
I think I watched like part of the season and then I just kind of stopped. But that happens to me a lot because I'll like get bored and then I'll start watching something else and I completely forget that whatever it is exists.
I just fall victim to like the random show that shows up that they're like plugging at that moment when you turn on Netflix or another platform. And it's like #1 or number whatever. And you're like, oh, that looks interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But then you watch like 1 episode. It doesn't like fully reel you in.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to keep up with all the shows.
Yeah. And I think we should go to one. And I think we should document and record videos while we're there on our phone and post them on our YouTube.
I would love to be a dwarf and get like a big old beard because it'd have to be a fake one because I couldn't grow a beard for my life right now.
Dude, I've
got too much thinning and bald spots on my face. I've got a little bit of a baby face.
I
can grow a mustache and like a goatee, but like I got some bald spots on the cheeks. It's not very good.
I'd get like...
It's undwarf-like.
It's undwarfish. It is not very dwarfish.
So I'd have to get one of those big old like fake ones you like glue on your face.
And we're all tall, so we'll be like giant dwarves.
I can hunch over.
I don't want to. It'll give us a bad bath. But
it's not forever, Lily.
Anyway,
it's just for a few days at a LARP.
We'll be large dwarves. It's not our fault that we're big. People will pretend. But I'll put on hair extensions that are super long and make big, huge braids on my hair. It'll be
yeah. Or you could even have a beard too.
Yeah.
Apparently the dwarvish ladies got beards too.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you've watched the recent Lord of the Rings, they don't. I'm just saying, I
feel like they're not properly representing the race.
Okay, I will have a beard just for you.
Yes! The bearded lady.
But it'll be little...
It's sexy to a dwarf.
It'll be a well-coughed one. Hey, that's how they'll know we're dwarfs.
Yeah.
Because they'll see my beard and they'll be like, wait, I know what you are.
It's like you've got a pretty face and then you have a hair on your face.
Yeah. I'll be like, want to come over here?
Yeah.
I'll give you a big fat kiss.
A big fat kiss.
So, yeah, I can't do Scottish right now. It's just not happening. But anyway, I think you guys should all check it out. And yeah, me and Mikey are going to make arrangements. We will go to a LARP together. We will document parts of it and put it up on YouTube where you can see us and laugh at us and experience it as much as you'd like.
Yeah. I just have to find a way to sneak away from the fam. I got the wife and the kids.
No, see, that's why we take your 2 oldest boys with us.
Oh.
And then you're helping out because then she doesn't have all the kids.
Well, no, but the older ones actually help with the younger ones, so we'd actually be making it worse. It's like, honey, I'm going to leave, and I'm going to take the older kids that are actually helpful.
Tell her...
Have fun.
Tell her it's for science and podcasts.
It's just for prosperity.
Tell her you need to be immersed in a non-reality.
I need to be immersed in a world where I'm an orc, and I eat man flesh. Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
For a dwarf.
Yes.
Or a vampire.
Yes.
Except they sound kind of freaky, so I'm not sure I want to go to that one anymore.
What? Are you sure you don't want...
I don't want someone to suck my blood, all right?
We could be hobbits and wear giant feet.
Hairy feet?
Yeah. And just like walk around with giant feet. I'm just saying.
I've got a little bit of a belly, so I could pull off the hobbit look.
Yeah. I mean, I think we could do that too. I could be a half hobbit, half dwarf and have a beard and be hobbit feeted. Footed.
You're like an inbred... You're an inbred hobbit?
Hey, that's not inbred. That is crossbred.
Sorry.
Other way around.
I don't want to offend anyone out there that it just so happens to be part hobbit, part dwarf.
Or anybody who happens to be inbred, okay?
Okay.
All love and acceptance here.
All love and acceptance indeed.
Yes. So, I guess, basically, check out the idea, guys. I just thought it'd be fun to share. And yeah, I'm excited about me and Michael going and telling you about what we think of it and give you samples of it. It's a fun way.
This might be in a year or so. Don't be thinking this is next week.
No, because I told you most of them are in the summer and we're in the dead of winter and we need to be able to plan ahead. But we will eventually, It is on my to-do list.
The bucket list?
We must.
Are we adding to our bucket list?
It has already been on my bucket list to go to a giant LARP. I mean, ultimately, I would love to go to one of the giant ones in Germany. But I know that I can't steal you away to Germany like that without your wife. She would be angered.
Please do. Find a way to talk her into it.
Okay, we just have to get your youngest old enough that she won't cry when she sees orcs. And we can take them all.
I don't think it's going to happen. My 7 or 8 year old, my 7-year-old daughter would freak out. So.
She's so cute.
She's a sweetie.
Okay, so yeah, everyone, check out the world of LARP.
Dive into the world of full immersion and being your inner orc or whatever. Fill in the blank.
Yeah, or tree person. Or you could even roleplay be a goat.
I can be an ent?
Yeah. There actually is in the Dracoon Fest. There's
the ent people? I swear it's just Lord of the Rings live action.
Well, they can't call it that. They'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, not only that.
They don't have the rights.
Considering that they've been around since the early 70s, I think no one could really give them too much crap.
Okay.
I mean, even if the Lord of the Rings stuff was already kind of in the air, they've been doing it for too long for anyone to say anything. And who can sit there and tell you that your fantasy world is wrong?
Well, you've heard it, folks. Cosplay to the max.
L.A.R.P.
L.A.R.P.
LARP.
It literally sounds like A.A.R.P. like some old folks insurance supplement.
Live action role play. Woo!
Everybody, get your LARP on. It's all about the LARP.
And we shall see you, or hear you, or no, you shall hear us in the next episode.
Until next time, bye-bye.